always mess with my docks. I need stats, bro. Stats. There we go. I wonder what happened to that. No frames dropped. Good. Ba 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 ba. There we go. Hello. I'm trying to fix my shit real quick. All right. I'm on time. I'm on fucking time today. What is this? Well, not really. I'm like 10 minutes late. But that's on time. Anyways. I don't know. Nothing special today. Probably do some roasting. With some new toys that I got. Mostly a new camera. But I had someone tell me I put a fan in backwards. I had to double check it. My fan was fine. They lied to me. I was lied to. But yeah, I thought the fan was in reverse. This fan right here. So I started panicking and I took them all apart. But it was fine. Fans are in the right spot. That's what it should like. And if you need to center it, there's always that screw right there. Show you. There's a centering screw. Right there. You just unscrew it, and if it'll scrape the sides, and you'll know because they'll sound terrible. So, if you ever hear a weird scraping noise on your fan, it's probably this isn't centered. That's happened a few times, not a lot. It does get loose every once in a while. I think. I think I'm gonna try roasting with. I got 2 units. This unit, got the bottom unit, and then I have a. Where else? I want to use the S5 today because I haven't used that in a while. But let me put this back real quick. Ugh. Let me assemble this. And I've been using High Beam as of recently, the one that you buy from their store. That unit module instead of the ESP32 ones. Not for any particular reason. It's just been. It just connects so fast. So put that back. We put this back together and we'll start doing something. I thought I did this last night, but I think I passed out early. Go. So, I'm kind of getting better. I got 2 units that I'm able to get on the market. These are nicer ones, so you know they have all the mods, and they're like $350, I think. Put this away at the side. All right, let's get the S5 out. Let's make room. All right. Got this going. Where is my... And I've been roasting without a back panel. So if you want to see the internals, it looks kind of like this. So simple layout, but it has a belted setup. Has this weird exhaust kind of fan setup. Then you got the power supply, which actually is similar to the Kaleido one, and then their own power board or a main board. And they got a big honkin' worm drive, so it's like the ginormous version of this one. If you could try comparing them. Point downwards, damn it. Sorry, there's no stabilization on this. Yeah, so it's a lot bigger. So yeah, the S5 has a beefier worm drive motor, and it has a belted setup, which is nice. Yeah, it's not a bad setup. And then it has 1, 2, 3 bulbs. There's 1 bulb, 2 bulbs. So it has 3 600-watt bulbs. That's 1 more than the Kaleido M2 has. So it's got more power to really scorch and tip your beans. It has one of these. This is like the biggest advantage. I'll show you. It's this is what I want on a V2 or a V1 or a V2. I just want this. I just want a little power switch. It's not a lot to ask for. Like, hey, my thing's on fire. Maybe I could turn it off. So the S5 is built a little bit better. There's a lot more metal parts to it, and it's heavy. It does 600 grams, and it's just not. I don't know. It's not that pretty, I guess, but it works, and it's what, $100 extra, and it's heavy as shit. Ugh. The only thing that if you could believe this or not, is the only thing that sucks about it is the bean cooling is worse than the V1, which is really embarrassing. And they should have made this out of wood. This thing burns the shit out of your hands, and it's like a wooden just bean chute opener. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. It actually has a trier, a bean opener. I gotta put a M5 in there real quick. Hold on. So I'm gonna roast with that, and I'm gonna roast with I'm gonna do 2 of the same beans on each of the roasters and kind of compare them. Somebody wanted to compare both of them and send a sample, so I figured I'd do that. And I haven't used that in like months, so let's pray it doesn't blow up or anything. Where are my extra screws at? Ass load of them. Where did they go? Oh, here. Oh, is it an M4? Shit. Hold on. Keep saying I'm gonna put the screw back in, and then I constantly forget. Let me see if I can get a closer look. Enhance. Back up. Back up. There we go. Schmola. All right, I'm gonna find the screw. I'm just gonna find one, I'm gonna put it in, call it a day, and then we'll get going. Terrible design. Also, if you have any questions, let me know. Didn't really have anything planned today. There we go. Turn this on. I'm gonna turn the airwave on. You have to warm up the airwave first. That's gonna get a little bit louder. Does this go here? I forget. Should get a reducer. That's not gonna work. I'll bring this closer. All right, let's just start this thing. All right, just gonna plug in this cord. Be right back. All right. All right. Turn the airwave on. Let's turn this on. So the plus side about the S5 is that it already comes with a Bluetooth chip inside, so you can connect it to high beam pretty much right away, or you could directly connect it to the controller and it can do artisan as well. Let's turn that on. The only issue with 3 lamps, you need to get on a dedicated 15 amp socket. If you're 110. If you're 220, then, you know. Yay. You're doing it right. All right, let's go open this. That's not it. There it is. All right, so we're gonna connect high beam to the Schmola. Let me see if I already have it here. I do. Connect right away. I haven't connected it in months. See if everything works. Drum works. Fan works. The abysmal cooling fan works. I guess. Yeah, you really can't see the lamps because it's a solid drum. It really goes based on convection. Well, primarily convection. All right. Alright, let's get it started. Let's go to device. Why is it like this? It's a little annoying. Oh, high beam. Rotate. Let me restart the app. There we go. She's being stupid. All right. It's more better. Let me close this out. Move this way. Well, let's try preheating it. Let's warm it up. That's kind of like annoying buzz to it. Let me fix this. And I had to redirect. I had to use an extension cord to redirect it to a socket in my house that actually has like I think it has 15 amps. So we'll find out real quick. I think it's the airwave over here. This is hanging off by the edge. Real quick. There we go. We're gonna have this preheat. I guess let me know if you have any questions. It's quiet today. I really should have got a fitting for this. This is probably not going to extract the smoke as well as I wanted it to. I'll just hold it here. I didn't get a fitting for that. I didn't think about that. Whoops. Oh, I was supposed to update the PID on this a long time ago. Let's turn that off. Let's turn the fan up. Get some heat out of there. Yeah, I remember they were telling me I had to update the PID thing because I'll just shoot it right up. Got a warm little chamber. So differences between this and a Skywalker is solid drum, right? 30 bulbs, 600 watts at each. So I really think you should probably get this at 220 if you were to take it home. Right, if you were to take it, if you were to have one at home, especially if you're not in the U.S., you probably have 220 at home. But for people in the U.S., it's kind of a big deal. Makes it an instant garage roaster sometimes, or you could probably using one of your appliance 220 outlets and then converting the plug to whatever that is. But yeah, so it's convection dominant roasting, a roaster. It's not like radiant heat like we have with the with the Skywalker. So ET I think plays a bigger role in monitoring things when you're roasting with the convection roaster. So it's a little more. I feel like it's a little more complicated. I think ET tells you more about how the roast is going. Just turn on the cooling fan because they're kind of silly. Like if we look at them, I think they're, yeah. Let's take a peek at it while we're warming it up, I guess. See those two dinky little fans? It's supposed to cool all 600 grams. It takes like 8 minutes to cool it off. And that was when it was colder. We could spend the extra money and get an external cooler. A lot of people are doing that. All right, it's going a little bit low. I'm gonna raise this back up. I'm not gonna try to go 100% on the heaters because it really gets those amps going. I'm gonna bring this up to about 85. It's Remix. Hey, what's up? How's the Cubian? Did you fix it? Are you roasting now? Oh, dang. I feel like you put the most work in that roaster. You haven't really got a few roasts in yet. Okay, that's good. It's been working fine. I don't even think I'm using your latest updated code. I'm using the last one that worked, and it's, you know, I got to restart it every once in a while, but it works. One day you'll get to it. You'll be roasting like a pro in a minute. Turn this fan down. Yeah, I would not recommend burning down the new place. Oh, I'm gonna go over something real quick before we start roasting. I want to get this up a little bit higher. I'll lower the temp a bit. Kind of want to equalize the environmental temperature and not have the bean temperature shoot up to 220. So right here, we have this is a V2 motor. It's the stock motor, right? All right, you know, yeah. Let me get a better view while this warms up. Nope, that's there you go. All right. So while that's warming up, So here's the V2, right? A V2 drum motor. This, you could buy these now, and buy them off their parts website. So, and you could buy a mount and you can hook it up to a V1. I got one kind of set up to do, and that's kind of the next project I'll show next week when I have it all the stuff printed out for it. But interesting thing, if you open up the motor like so, you could find the gears, right? You can hear the gears. I always like to think that the OEM is listening to us, but sometimes they don't give a fuck. Because if they would have listened, they would have known their last motor has a lot of issues with the gear, and they usually die, especially for people who are like using them as like production roasters, or people are just doing like 10 back-to-back roasts, and they're like, oh, the drum's starting to slow down a little bit. That's probably because of the plastic gear, right? So, and that was with the V1. That was the round turntable motor. This one. Turntable motor. So that had a plastic gear. So I thought when they upgraded the motor, they upgraded everything and they were listening to us, because these do come with metal gears. But this one, yet again, has a plastic gear. And not only that, it also has this really cheap, I feel like it's vinyl. It might be silicone. It doesn't feel like silicone, but another plastic piece that holds this up, that gear. So, you know, we're in a high heat environment. It's right next to the drum. That is eventually going to cause some warping, or even having the tooth kind of lose out over time, which I've seen happen before for all those roasters that are really running it up really hot, and it's going to deform over time. I know there's some good plastics, but just the proximity of the drum motor next to the chamber is it's so close, and it gets so hot. Easily gets the 120C. I think I measured it at 120C. So, and you could buy for $14. This is another one I bought, and for like $14, $15, you could buy one like off the shelf, and it's all metal. Yeah, they have all metal gears. That's right. You can buy that off the shelf. Not the shelf. Buy it right on AliExpress, where we buy everything. Yeah, that's my rant. That is my rant for today. So, yeah, the original equipment manufacturer, they kind of care. It's a cost cutting machine. Its biggest selling point is that it's cheap. Well, that, and it runs well too. Okay, I'll admit that it runs really well, but it is priced, you know, anything sub $1,000. It's priced really well. It's still, yeah, it's an awesome deal. I mean, let me show you what our options are if you were not to get, like, if you want something comparable, but even like might be a good deal, it'd probably be the Kaleido, right? Because after this, there's not really much else. You get those weird air roasters, the SR800s, and they're fine. But if you want like a drum roaster, you the only thing really up there left is Kaleidos. For the US, yeah, you're spending like, geez, oh, that's an M10. I hope that's an M10. Yeah, it's an M10. See, well, M2 Pro we should be looking at. You're looking at spending like 1,800, 1,900. There's really no in between roaster other than, well, we are the in between roaster, the Skywalkers and the smallest. But yes, still very, very good deal. Get the screen capture back on. I think I warmed it up long enough. There are people that are running the gauntlet on these things and doing an Amazon return in like 30 days. I think it's a 30-day policy. But yeah, I got one unit back here and it was a straight up return. And they ran that to the ground. They didn't clean it up. Um I thought it was a fire, but no, they did so many roasts on it. Like it actually with barely any no modifications, and it's a mess. But they must have been doing batches every single day with that one, because you could tell like the part where the hose sticks out when you put the exhaust thing on is like covered in dried coffee oils. It's pretty gross. All right, 199. All right, cool. I'm just gonna bring it up and down. I'm gonna assume that it's good to go. It's a 145-degree environmental temperature. Oh shoot, I gotta do work calls later. But we're gonna do 500, or we'll do 500 grams on here, and then 500 grams on a Skywalker of the same bean. I'm gonna shoot for. I've been meaning to use this one. I don't even remember. I can't even think of like what bean this was. I forgot the country. I know it's a small island. I don't know why I didn't label it. But it's from Coastal Peaks Coffee Micro Roaster. Actually, I should try a bean that I know the name of, that I have 500 grams of. That's not or a couple grams of. Oh, I gotta try it. No, I don't have enough of that one. I have another co from it. Is it Bali? Timor Leste. There you go. Timor Leste. Timor something. Timor. I keep thinking no moleste, but that's don't bother me. Timor. Timor coffee. Timor. It's a country or an island. Is it Leste? Yeah, I guess so. Timor Leste. Timor, Timorlest. My bad. All I know is the origin. I don't know what kind of bean it is. I don't know what altitude it was. Does it smell like? They smell like green beans. They smell like grass. All right, let me measure 500 grams of this bad boy. Actually, I'll be fair. Let me do. Let's do 350. We'll do 400. 400 grams. I'm also doing a roast because somebody wanted to taste the difference between same bean and kind of the difference of Skywalker and the Smola. All right, so we got 400 grams here. This looks all set up. This is the nice part, is you can load it up here, and that has a legitimate funnel shaft. I can send you a sample too. I'm just sending little small baggies to people so they could be like, oh, wonder how this will taste. That looks good. That looks good. The only thing that sucks about it is that they didn't put enough angle on this thing, so I have to scoop some of the beans in. Oh, Jesus. So that's 220. Let's lower that down. We vent it a bit. Fuck, it's hot again. Yeah, I'm just gonna do little baggies. You could try it out. I think he does espresso, the guy. So I want to see what he thinks. Thing is, if it's espresso, I'm gonna have to do like maybe medium espresso too. What do you like for espresso? People always tell me go dark, but that was a production roaster, and he says I keep it light to medium. Okay, I was talking to this production roaster. Well, no, I don't know why I call him production. He owns the place. He says he just goes dark because the taste stays consistent. And yeah, pretty much. He's like, it stays consistent. No one complains yet. So that's the only real reason why he keeps doing a darker roast, past medium. But this also the same guy that he doesn't use any graphs. He just wings it. He has a San Franciscan, and he's just like, I just go by smell and taste and time, bro. It's like, cool. Yeah, but they're running those things on like Probat Jupiters, right? Where they'll like, if you ever see those tangential roasters where it's like they're from start to finish, it's like 3 minutes to roast. Is the temperature more accurate in the Schmolla? I mean, I think so. I think it actually falls in line within like the 100. Well, we'll find out. We'll see. It probably is more accurate. It has a thermocouple. They use two thermocouples. Um, I think it's because of the sensor location. Because Smola's been doing this for a minute. They're not a new company like the Foshan. They've been actually they have been having roasters for a long time. They kind of get it. It's just if you notice that these Chinese companies, they just have really shitty marketing. Like they've been selling these roasters in China really well, but they can't sell them here because it's kind of harder to sell in the U.S. because they're all state of affairs, I guess you could say. And then and it's just they don't have really great marketing. I think it's a lot more popular. The Skywalker is just more popular because they really tapped into a lot of like American, a little bit of the American culture. I think, like the design basis. If you were to look at earlier marketing of the Skywalker, it was literally Darth Vader. They're like, they have a picture of it somewhere, and I'm almost like, man, that's kind of a. And if you know anything about Disney, they don't fuck around with their their IPs. All right, let's charge this. Well, let me make sure everything's. Fuck, that's hot. I just gotta get something. All right. Fuck. One thing they need to improve on is their funnel. It just sticks. Takes forever. Huh. Check this out. If they get lower to the beans. I feel like there's beans that get stuck in a spot longer than they should. No, they're moving in and out. Okay. I thought it was an issue. Nothing. I'm gonna turn the music down. Just so you can enjoy the noise of it. Hello. Damn, that's going to the sky. Maybe I should lower that down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Maybe it's too hot. The RRR is pretty freaking high. I think I might have put it too high at 80. Maybe I should have did like 60. I lowered it down, so I'm really trying to extend it out. Or maybe that's how ROR is. I don't know. Hey, Mike. Hey, I got the Ethiopia Gucci Hambella too. I think I got some of that. So I saw a bag of it somewhere. I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, it might be tasty. I'm tasting something from Timor Leste. But I'm doing a thing for a guy who wants to compare the Smola with the uh, with the Skywalker. So I'm gonna do another roast right after with the Skywalker, assuming I have enough time. I realize I have to pick this heavy ass thing up and then yeah. Although I did panic and I dropped it a lot. I probably shouldn't have panicked like that, but the ROR was like 25. I normally don't see it that high. I feel like it's more similar to a Kaleido than it is a Skywalker, just because of how the bulbs are set up. So I'm doing a batch. I'll probably bag it up, sample it to some people. What I didn't do is put a proper reducer to actually have this vent into my airwave. It's trending downwards, doing pretty good right now. I also forgot I was supposed to do an update on this from what's his name. Will told me to do it. I never did it, so still looking green in there. You are truly the U.S. ambassador of the Department of Coffee Roasting. Let's see how this goes. Little green. Smells grassy still. Get loud. I'm here to share the affordable coffee roasters. Get yellowing. All right, on to first crack. So I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do 2 minutes after first crack. So we're shooting for a medium roast. This would be the medium roast to share. I started bringing it down. It's kind of plateauing, and I'm not liking that. So I'm gonna bring down the heat a bit. Now, if you compare like environmental temperature and the bean temperature, and you compare this to like a Skywalker, usually you'll see the environmental temperature lag. Whereas the ET in here, since it's convection based, it's higher. That's what's heating the air. I wonder if I have to raise it up then, because right now if ET's at 188, I'm a little afraid to raise it up. I'm treating this like a Skywalker. I treat it like a convection roaster. I want to get that environment temperature up a little bit higher. Yeah, so that's going to raise up, and then the BT should follow suit. And that's a lot different from when you roast with the Skywalker. Oh, let's turn this down. I think I messed that part up. I think it was a little too aggressive. In the Skywalker, we would have been like at 180, 85 for first crack. And I think we're going to be like 197. Let's see what it sounds like. There you go. More? I heard one pop. I need 3. One. There's a little one. There, 3. I'm not gonna lie. I've had really good coffee from Popcorn Machine. Yeah, John. I had a B more, and that took me away from roasting after roasting with that thing for a month or 2 weeks. I was using it. I gave up roasting for a few months, and then I got a Sweet Maria popper, and I had a way better experience with that. What do you think? Remix 2 minutes? We could drop it then. Oh, I need to use the. I want to make sure it's a medium. Every time I drop it at 130 or 145, it's always like a. Oh, we're gonna do it anyways at 2. Drop. There we go. I roasted 5. I picked the precision. Oh, the precision Skywalker roaster. They won't call it Skywalker because it's different. Oh my god, this fucking thing sucks. All right, hold on. Oh, sorry. I just need to. Ugh. You should try using the ESP32. There's not really much wiring to it. If you have the firmware for the ESP32, you plug it in the back of the V1. Yeah, there's no more like soldering into like certain GPIO pins anymore. It's just plug it in the back, and you can have Artisan over WebSocket or Wi-Fi basically, or you could do high beam. It's a lot easier now, so I gotta update the GitHub to put in all the new fun firmwares we have out there. Still very hot. I'm using an extra fan because the smaller one sucks ass. That'll probably be the first mod. This does. I love this thing. This thing's pretty good. It's doing better now. Would controlling the filter fan on V1 be in the firmware or high? Oh man, that should be in the firmware. I think someone added it recently. No, you know who added it was Will. I think he added the filter fan on there. We we keep forgetting to add it in because so a lot of us don't use it. But I should add it in because people still use it. I mean, it works to an extent. I thought Will said he put it back in high beam. He said because somebody was complaining that it wasn't in there. Sorry, I'm talking to people on Discord. All right, cooled it off. Cool. It doesn't look medium. It looks kind of dark. Or cinnamon. Well, oh well. I did 2 minutes after. You know what? I don't even remember if I I don't remember if I look. Did I look at packets for that one? I can't remember. I'm trying to think if when I was doing all the logic analyzer stuff, if I ever actually focused on what the packets were saying when you turn the filter fan on. All right. Well, that was a decent roast. Very different from roasting on a Skywalker. Um, very different. Let's complete the log. Let me see how much weight I got here. So this is this for the schmola. Let me get a proper size bin to hold this in. All right, back. Let's. Okay, where's my scoop? I'm an idiot about this. There it is. All right. This looks lighter. This looks really light. Maybe I wanted it darker. I think there's gonna be a lot more people coming up. I think Artisan just had a shipment of V2s come in, so we're gonna have more friends. What? Oh, I didn't tear it for this thing. traded for this. Okay. $344. All right, complete log. So I did 400 in. $344 out. Like 14% weight loss. All right, I'm gonna make sure I label this as what's it called? For the S5. All right, this will cool off. Not too hot. All right, let's go get a Skywalker in now. Just move all this stuff out of my way. Cool. All right. And exits. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put the Skywalker on now. Much time? Okay, that's enough time. Okay. Ouch. Do I want to do V2 or do the V1? I'm gonna do the V1. Let's do them all. Let's do V1, V2. We got enough beans. We're gonna do them all. Not today. Maybe tonight. Oh, did you boost the server? Thanks. I gotta figure out what that allows us to do. All right, we've switched to Yeah, it busted you out. It said you have boosted the server. What kind gentleman? All right. Oh, all right. Well, I know I was waiting for someone to do it eventually. Thank you. My favorite this is from John Stewart on YouTube. My favorite coffee is green kick-ass brand as coffee kicking horse, so I'm always trying to roast with this goal in mind. Is green. It's that green kick-ass brand, kick-ass coffee. Kicking horse. So I'm always trying to roast with that goal in mind. Yeah, hell yeah. Just make some good-ass coffee. If you ever feel bad about your roast, just go get a French roast from Starbucks, and then you'll be like, oh, this is why I do this. All right. So Skywalker, I just completed refurbishing. Um, when I say that, I just mean I put a fan in, and then I what else do I do? I put a fan in. I just make sure everything works. Like the only big mod I do is the fan one. Oh, and then I add Artisan and High Beam. I just use the ASP32 version now that has both. Let's put this on. I'm going to tighten this bad boy up. And I'm also using our little buddy, the Airwave. I didn't use the Airwave on the last roast, and it's red on my air quality indicator. Boop. Oh, this? I always do a final check where I go, is everything closed? Answer time is never. Also got to clean it out too. All right. Back at it. Skywalker HB. Let's go here, start manual roasting, and we'll go to preheat, put all those on. No cancel. All right, so we'll let this warm up. Usually I wait till about, usually give it like a 5-minute warm up. While we're doing that, I'm going to measure out some beans, another 400 grams. I'm going to turn this down. I'm doing 400. Oh. I'll wait till it heats up. Oh, shit. Man, the myth, the legend. Sloppy Josh. It's always good seeing him. Yeah. He's pretty much the reason why we're all here. Well, him and Renatoa. He's the home roasting forum guy. But Sloppy Josh is in the Discord, and he's the one who originally wrote out the first, pretty much the catalyst, everything, getting the Skywalker on the Artisan. He motivated me to use a logic analyzer on the cubing to get all the commands. That sucked, by the way. It didn't suck. It was just like, what? All right. Because I thought it was gonna be the same thing, like the original V1. It was using like bit banging, and I didn't. It took me a while to realize it was like over UART. But there's a reason why AI exists. It was able to see the. It was able to tell me that it saw the patterns. It does a great job with pattern recognition. Put him on the spot. Maybe his mic works. I wonder if we see what he's been up to. Oh, he left. He just wanted to check out stuff. Or maybe he's getting his mic to work. So 400 grams. Trier is good. Good. Alright, well, I'll consider the warm-up timer now. I need to get a little charge funnel on this thing. I gotta print one out. Cam has a good one with magnets, so it's able to stay on better. So I need to reprint that one out. So this one has airwave now, so we should be good with breathing in here. So it hits the charge temp. I'm gonna give it like 5 minutes to warm up, and then I'll toss the beans in, and we'll do the roast. Can't think of anything else. That's all good. Cleared that out. This gets significantly hotter than the Shmola. Careful around your kiddos. That's good. I gotta figure out the flavor notes are on this. I'll probably do I'll probably put a few of them in my not a few of them. I'll probably do a little cup of coffee with my X Bloom with it, with these beans, and see how they taste. Oh, got another toy for upcoming builds, so show people better how to like. We got this little new DJI camera. I'm gonna start recording like how-tos with. Pretty small. You could just attaches right on there. Should probably pull it off. Like I have it like this, just on my shirt. So you can see my hands when they're working on the machine. So I'll do that next time. I won't be able to stream with it, but I'll be able to record more videos. I'm gonna try to do more repair videos. I'm impatient today. I think we'll just, no, I should wait. Give it the 5 minutes. So I'm using the like the high beam module that you could buy from High Beam on AliExpress. It's like 45 bucks. It's kind of a lot, but it's dead easy to install and it's simple. You just plug it in and it's good to go. Whereas the ESP32, it's more community driven, has a lot more things going on, and a lot of hands have been working on it, but it's gone to the point where you just upload it and you could either run Artisan or High Beam on it. So once I spend more time on the GitHub, I'll make sure to update all the new firmwares. Did I talk enough? Good. All right, let's go roast. Bump that up. I'm gonna go 80. I felt I'll go 85. I think I could go a little more aggressive on this 400 gram. Yeah. Okay. Let me bring this up here. Charge. All right, here we go. We'll do I guess I'll do a play-by-play of what I do when I'm roasting. So right now, this is don't mind the background graph. That's another one for, I forgot what bean that was. Whatever I roasted last time. I think it was Ethiopian. But right now we're just waiting for the beans to kind of, it's going to keep lowering until it reaches the turning point. And that's just a sign of the temperature going on a downward trend towards an upward trend. These are the kind of milestones everyone likes to talk about. Some people think they could speak on a roast just by seeing where the turning point lands. I don't know. I just use that as a milestone or gauge. ROR is probably the more important thing to look at over the time of the roast. So what we're doing overall is there's this yellow line that's called the ROR, and we're trying to have that be our speedometer, our little guide, really. what you initially want is you want it to reach up high, hit a peak, and then come down nice and slowly. The general consensus is if you have it have the RR go down slowly and not like a steep dive and an up and down thing or up and down fluctuations, the taste will be a lot better, more controlled, which I think is true to an extent. Sometimes you'll get, well, I used to call them humps, but you'll either get like a one hump, maybe a two hump, where it goes down and up, down and up. That sometimes happens, but as long as it's trending downwards. Like that little hump you'll see right in here, it's that everyone might think, oh, it's a flick and a crash. Don't worry about that. It's when you have multiple high level up and downs in the RR where that becomes where it starts affecting taste. But if you have like one or two little humps, that could be a multiple things that could be going on. You could have pulled out your trier. You could have, I don't know. It could be just the beans being weird. So right here, when I see it go downward like this, I'm probably going to start just laying off the heat a little bit. So now I want to start drawing that ROR downwards. So next, right now, what we're going to set up for is waiting for the yellowing phase, which is basically has the beans turn from that pale green to that yellowness. You can usually smell a difference. Like when you start off, it might smell like hay or something. And then at around the yellowing time, it might smell a little bit sweeter, I guess is what the smell is kind of described as. It definitely doesn't smell like hay or grass anymore. It shouldn't. I don't think it does. Also, graphs are fine. They help you, but they're not the end-all be-all. So you're using that as a guide. You're not making that the roast. The roast is the beans. You're smelling, you're looking, ensuring everything's looking good. I personally like smelling. So when I hit around 155, I'll take a peek at the beans. Still green. Little grass. I'm gonna put that back in. I know when I take out my trier because that fluctuates the your curves. I wish every time I roast, I wish there was a button that says I pulled out my trier at this time. Because you see that little up and down part. That's probably because I pulled the trier out. We're going to do it again. I'm going to take a peek. Yeah, a little bit more sweeter. So I'm going to hit development in. That's the end of the yellow phase. Now we're moving on to first crack. Out of all the phases, I think first crack is the most important. That's where I do all my timings. That's where I think, oh, I'm going to go light. I'll do a minute and 30 seconds. Oh, I want to do medium. I'll probably do 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Whatever you think of that. It's all big, like, it's all testing, right? It's kind of going up there. I'm going to drop it down a bit. You look at those two humps; those kind of tell you when I pulled the dryer out. Now we still want to get back on that downward trend, so I'm gonna start lowering it a bit. I need to put an accelerometer on the dryer, so every time I pull it out, it detects it, and then I'll do a dryer pull. Dropping it down again. 185 for Skywalkers. This is the kind of time we start listening in to see if first crack is going to start happening. Like to take a peek, look in. One. So I go for 3 cracks. Some people like to do the first crack they hear and they'll hit first crack. I like to have like 1, 2, or 3. That was 1 again. 2, 3. All right. So you'll hear sometimes you hear a pop, long pause, pop, long pause, and then I usually don't count that as first crack. If it's pop, 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 and cracks, like I should say pop, say crack, 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 because there's puffs and pops you'll hear sometimes. But you want to hear those like crack, 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 and then that's when I hit first crack. And these are more on the quieter side. Even on the other one, it was a lot harder to hear. So we're going to shoot for 2 minutes on this, just like the other one. We'll compare and see how they taste. Usually at first crack, when you hear crack, 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 you got to remember you see the temperature spike up a little bit, the ROR spike up a bit. Remember, it's an exothermic reaction, right? You built all that thermal momentum. All of a sudden, it's releasing we get to a point where it's releasing that steam that cracks open. That's essentially what first crack is. So obviously, if you have like a exothermic reaction, you're going to have more increased heat coming out of the beans onto the temperature probes. You should still see a little bit of a bump. All right, I'm gonna hit drop, confirm. That turns on the fan. So even if you do have a bad roast, if you feel like you had a bad roast, it's uncontrolled, it's all out, all over the place, that's fine. You know, it happens. You didn't really fail if you were to, I don't know, grind it up and have it in a coffee and it tastes good. You won. That's how I feel. Like when people look at my graphs and they're like, "Oh, you did this wrong. Or it's not supposed to be like that. You got to do this, this, or this." It's like that's fine. That's cool. Would you like a cupping of it so we could see what can we taste what's actually going on, or is it a big issue? And the best way to fix it is to obviously buy more beans into the same beans and drink more coffee. So any way you think of it, you win. Unless it's a Robusta and you did to like second crack. I've heard some people putting like devices to make amplify the noise of the first crack. There was a project a while ago where a guy was using machine learning to tell when first crack was happening. I think it was called Roast Learner, and I don't know what happened to that project. I think he just kind of said whatever, didn't care too much, but it was open source. If you could get it, if you look up Roast Learner, you can see how he did it. He said it worked pretty well. He has a video of it. Because Remix was saying, I was thinking about playing. If you play with it in the near future, you get it down. I think you can. That's what he did. He put a mic inside his roaster, and then he got to recognize what's regular like noises that you would normally hear, and then somehow it distinguished which one was first crack, which one were cracks, and which one was like just a drum. And see, that's the glory of open source. That's why the community is really backed on the whole open source thing. And right to repair. You should be able to repair your roaster and not have to pay a lot of money for the parts. Kaleido. Kaleido. All right, so that's what kind of the roast looks like. I have a nice little downward trend. First crack hit, and then you can see, look, it went up a little bit, and I think that's pretty much the exothermic reaction that's happening. But if you do, you can still control your heat and keep lowering it after first crack. You can use that thermal momentum to keep it going. There's a guy, Coffee Mind, a long time ago. So I was talking about radiant heat roasters, and he had a proposal like, what happened where if you were to roast with the radiant heat roaster and then cut off the lamp, essentially is what he's doing, and then kind of let the thermal momentum take over. I think I tried it once. It was okay. They said, do interesting things like that because a radiant heat roaster still penetrates the beans, and during the whole roast it goes a little bit deeper and gets the insides really well, so you could probably do that. It's still going to heat the beans up, and it's just how well would it roast. I feel like I got the same kind of outcome that I expected turning it off. There wasn't any like profound difference. I was like, oh, neat. Still very hot. Just touching the walls. Pushing that over here. All right, let's go see what the weight looks like. I should do this. Actually, it's down here. I'll be lazy. All right. So now I'm just measuring it. Measuring what the percentage is. Of weight loss. All right, 338. So I went from 400. Interesting. We have more weight loss with this one. 15.5%. Probably the way I managed heat, more than likely. Or just different heat transfer. So let me turn this off. Go. All right. I think maybe later tonight I'll put the Kaleido in the mix. I'll do a Kaleido and then I'll do a V2. Because I think I have enough little packets where I could send people and they could be like, get a good reference of each of the roasters. So tonight, I'm gonna do the Kaleido. I have that Kaleido M2 back here. I also have the V2. I could try that out too. It should be the same as the V1, but who knows? And one day I got to get that cormorant going. I'll save some beans for that cormorant. I have this cormorant in the back that I've been dying to use, and I haven't had a chance. But I'll do that next time. So, so for now, I got these two. I'll probably do a tasting. I'll do cupping later tonight too, or when I pick up my kid. I got to pick up my kid in a few minutes. So, all right. So small S5. Let me complete this log. Let's take a peek at both. So we had the Schmola, kind of ran on a lot longer than I thought. I feel like I should do another roast where I do it correctly, but it's okay. And then you have the Skywalker. Wish maybe I should have did a little bit more aggressive on the cooling of the heat, maybe dropping it a little bit lower faster, but it's kind of not at the decline that I want, but it's okay. Give it a shot, see what it tastes like. Because my other roasts I've had, they were pretty good. That was a good one. Yeah, I was a little more aggressive on the heat on those ones. I just gotta get more used to the S5 when I roast with it. It's a lot different. Because now I'm actually looking at ET, environmental temperature, and using that to help me guide my roast, where the V1, you don't need that. I know some people say you need the ET for whatever reason, environmental temperature probe for whatever reason, but I'm considering the heat transfer, and with the radiant heat roaster, I just don't see what the environmental temperature curve is showing me that the bean temperature curve would show me. If anything, I just feel like it lags behind by a few degrees, but it does follow the bean temperature curve. Yeah. But other than that, yeah. So the small S5, and then tonight will be Kaleido M2. We'll see how that goes, and then I might do it on tablet mode for the Kaleido. I guess I could do high beam. I need to find the ESP32 that I had on it. Re-upload that firmware that I made for it a while back. Kind of deciding if I want to do like 800 grams on the big boy. I haven't used the 1 kilogram machine in a while either. It's a lot of beans, but it's okay. It's worth it. All right. Anyways, thanks for joining. I had a blast. Expect more repair videos coming up. I'm gonna start actually making real repair videos where you could see my hands and reaching in to do those kind of repairs. I kind of find those more fun. I also have a nice little side project I'm doing with a V1, putting in a variety of different drum motors in with different projects that the community has, so that's going to be fun. And all we're waiting for now is Remix to make the first crack detector, and no rush. But if you can, that'd be dope. That'd be a fun little project. That's gonna take some time for sure. Actually, I should show you. Where is a roast learner? I got a few more minutes. I think it's. I don't know if you've seen that one. Roast learner. I think it's called roast. Let's go roast something. Ah, yes, here it is. This is oldie but goodie. I'll leave the link here. It's called Roast Learner. I know, I want to roast first. He hasn't even put a roast in. We're all like, yeah, can you just go ahead and add first crack detection? I'll put that on YouTube too. God, this was out years ago. I remember seeing this like, this is the future. And then he kind of gave up on it. That was 9 years ago? Fuck, how long have I been roasting for? I actually have, that was another thing. I put a thermocouple at the exhaust. So with that one, I put it right before the exhaust fan, but right in the middle of the pipe. I drilled it, tapped it, and I put a screw-in thermocouple in there to see what that looks like. Some other roasters said it won't tell you much. It tells you more of like the health of the roaster. Someone was telling me put a humidity probe in there. I don't know any humidity probes that can withstand that kind of temperature. I guess humidity is another one that they detect first crack with. Temperature, humidity probe at the exhaust, and then of course there's the audible one. Oh, and there's a new one coming up. I'm waiting for this one. I'm kind of excited about it. It's basically the OmniFlux. Mostly because I read this study. It was a UC Davis study about coffee, and they talked about milestones occurring at different I guess, roast levels, and they came at these like certain times, every time with Arabicas. Um, and they did that all by, they said that they were able to get consistent, like milestones hit consistently at each change in color of the bean, so that remained the same. Oh, this die. Oh, my tablet. Anyways, so now you're seeing things like Roasty Next and the Omniflux that just came out, or they just made, not come out. I seen a manual of it a while back, but I didn't know what it was. But it was in Chinese. But that was it's basically an IR laser shooting into the shooting at the quartz glass, because it goes through there and they could read what the color is. So now I'm interested in Omniflux. I'm interested in roasting with that now. Let me show you. Omniflux roast. It looks like a DSLR. Just taking constant pictures. Yeah, they're fucking expensive, but you know, I felt like I justified the airwave because I could breathe better. And it actually works with the airwave. So it tells you what you're roasting at, and then it can adjust the airflow. It does science, and then and then it communicates with each other via Bluetooth, so that's able to control some of the roast as well. That's why I went from the Omni. I went from the DI fluid Omniflux and went there instead of the Labrew. God, Roasty Next. So many wild names. But yeah, those are things I'm looking forward. I'm hoping it comes around Christmas so I could justify the purchase as a gift to me from me, co-signed by my wife. Or I got to start selling beans. But shit, at the rate it's costing, I'm about to sell my body. Anyways, 53. I gotta get out of here. I gotta pick a boy. Ah, shit. Sky Cowboy's here. Damn it. You know, Josh was here. Sloppy Josh was here today too. It was kind of interesting. You don't know Sky Cowboy is the other admin / roaster extraordinaire. Oh wait, he runs this company or this roaster. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. This one. Yeah. Yeah. He's fancy, but he's like the. Please post your Discord channel. Oh, I gotta post it somewhere. No, that's a what's that called? Capybara. Cute, adorable little rats. I will post I think I posted the Discord channel, but I'll put the invite in there. I got 5 minutes to pick up my child, so I'll probably see y'all later. I'm gonna try to do the other roasting later. Anyways, thanks for joining. Let's always have fun. Thanks. Bye. Shit, gotta pick up boy.